Wizkid and your Balogo, I give you just 24 hours to tell Nigerians the truth. Because if you don't tell them, I will tell them. I would definitely tell them. What is this?
In the middle of everything, I was like, I would be cheating the fans if I don't really let them see, the true me, like my real life. Like, I know sometimes everyone wants to come out and say, yeah, we got diamonds, we got cars, all of that fun stuff, but I really want people to see me, and see the essence of life, because there's different perceptions you have when you see an artist on TV, and when you really, really know them, then that really changes, So yeah, I was just like, yeah, you can have the cameras in my house for like 20 minutes. So yeah, we did get some parts in there, but I'm happy we did that. Because when I saw it at the end, I didn't even know we had a camera on me on the day of the show when I went to see my mom at the hospital before I performed. That was a very emotional thing for me, and I remember the first time I saw it, when we left, my girl was crying, and I was just like, what's wrong with you? But I think like those moments are very important, because we are all human beings, man, like for real, that's the real spill. Like,
you see, the real difference between Wizkid and most other artists or celebrities boils down to one thing: self-awareness. He deeply understands his identity, his worth and his value, beyond the noise and beyond every label that he has actually been attached with. And he consistently projects and protects and profits from this very value. He's the most strategic person I've ever seen. He only leaves you with results. The process, you're not gonna know. You're not gonna know the process. And this is not even rocket science. It's simply the power of mastering who you are beyond the world's definition of you, the noise. Once you do that, you've actually overcome the greatest limitations, the greatest challenge most people face that keeps them small. So I adopted Wizkid's mindset. That was in 2023 or 2024. 2023, focusing inward, ignoring the noise and pouring into your own craft and business. Understand that we are living in a very noisy world, let alone Nigeria. Nigeria is very noisy. Now you're looking at the biggest investor in the Nigerian music industry, and no, I'm not actually talking about a label executive. I'm not talking about people who call labels. Those ones now market they come. We are talking about the people who are actually using their own personal money to invest to build legacies. And this is the only person that has done it since Fela. Don't worry, they come. I'll bring it down, because I know you're not going to understand that. I've said it countless times that Wizkid's impact on Afrobeats deserves to be written in gold, not when he's gone. There should be a national structure in place to honor these people. Somebody like this guy. But the truth of the matter is that while I was thinking on behalf of Wizkid and on behalf of his fans and on behalf of Nigerians who actually love good things, I never knew that an intentional person like Wizkid has already started building legacy. He knows his worth. If you know your worth, you don't need any validation. You don't need any form of reaffirmation before you start doing that very thing to preserve or to protect that very value. This is what this guy is doing. Nobody knows this guy go to build a documentary for the past how many years. Now understand that documentary not be quick. Before you start building documentary, you should have a normal story to tell. And when I mean documentary, the standard that Wizkid actually went into. If you look at the producer, if you look at the director, and I'm Gil, you get to realize that this documentary has actually taken more than 12 to 18 months. I kid you not. Documentaries are not for people who have short-term goals. It's not for those who have short attention span or quick cash goals. Documentaries are for visionaries, legacy builders, people who are obsessed with time. Honestly, if you see an artist that step into the documentary space, understand this person has actually crossed a deeper level of self-awareness. The person is actually documenting history. Wizkid is not chasing clout. He's not chasing applause. He's preserving legacy. I'll keep saying this. Wizkid is the biggest and most consistent exporter of Nigeria's cultural image. Made in Lagos was not an accident. Long live Lagos. That's a documentary. It's not also an accident. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's intentional with telling not just the image of Nigeria, but the image of Africa. And he's very city, Lagos State. He has been very intentional about selling the culture of Lagos, the culture of Nigeria, against the noise people say that they are selling. Many Nigerian artists claim that they sell cultural identity through their songs, and I wonder how. Now, also understand that documentaries cost so much money. Serious money. This documentary is about 83 minutes long, and in film, documentaries are not built by vibes. It's actually built by minute, as in per minute. Now you go spend on average $2,000 to $4,000 per finished minute. Just do the math. $2,000 to less than $2,000 per minute. Calculated by 83 minutes of his documentary, it's about close to $200,000. Then you calculate it by 4,000, it's about $400,000. Now imagine marketing music rights, scoring, direction, editing, crew. You're talking possibly $500,000 to $1 million or even more than on one project for somebody to tell his story. Or they call this person on a mate. And to think about the person who actually directed it, Karam Gill, somebody that has actually worked with Snoop Dogg, Ice Boss, Ned Tyler the Creator, Ned the Dog, G-Funk, with them, Lil Baby. This is the same person that is directing or directed the 83 minutes long Wizkid's documentary. Oh my God. Wizkid didn't just hire any random guy. He went for class, global class. Now let's talk about the legacy that Wizkid is trying to preserve. Let's talk about history. Let's go back to history a little bit. Only a handful of Nigerian musicians have actually gone this level. If you know, I'm to the number one, Fela Kuti. Finding Fela, directed by Les Gibney. She first Osadebe, the legend of Osadebe. If you don't know Osadebe, ask any Igbo person around you. Ask them. You know any Osadebe? Ask anybody right now across the Igbo region. Not just the Igbo region, anywhere you are in the whole world, as long as you're an Igbo person, Osadebe, you must know that name. You must say you go know him. The Ayinde barrister, he did his Fiji documentary then. And now we have Wizkid Ayo Balogun. You see any of your face name there? You know, see him. Let's not even talk about your face. You see any Nigerian artist there. That is to tell you that this level is actually reached by those who have clarity, who have purpose, who understand their mission here on earth. They must document, they go live legacy. They go live them because it's worth reading. It's worth watching. They understand their value and their value needs to be passed down generation. Yes, for people to learn and be inspired. So if you think he's quiet, that's because you can't predict him. And people you can't predict are the most dangerous creators, dangerous in a good sense. This man shows up with a result against all noise. No announcement, no leaks, just impact. Just results. And when the documentary premiered at Tribeca, what did he do? He also unveiled his daughter's face. Nobody knows this guy, but me, I don't know my guy born. Quietly, elegantly, with class. That's how you protect legacy. Wizkid is no longer competing, if he was ever competing with anybody. He's only competing with time currently. If Fela's legacy doesn't take notes, if it's not preserved well, Wizkid might just surpass him. Not in noise, but in calculated, timeless impact. This is not just music anymore. This is culture. This is structure. This is foresight. This is Wizkid Ayo Balogun. This is the best documentary done in the history of Afrobeats. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for this very idea to come to your mind and you executing it. It is worth celebrating. Thank you, Wizkid Ayo Balogun.